Welcome to the Inspiring You Show. If we haven't met, I'm Henry. All right, friends. So last week inside the Inspiring You Patreon, the Meditate with Me Thursday integration class, Stability in Motion, Restoring Action to the Body, something profound really opened in the field. And that session really carried a specific harmonic that supported a deep structural shift, including a Reiki upgrade that I received during the class. And I've heard from others that they also received. And because there is so much happening collectively right now, and because the themes in this class meet the moment so precisely, I feel called to offer this session publicly. So, those outside the Inspiring You Meditate with Me in the All Access Patreon community can receive the support it provides. While the original experience unfolded inside a private class, the teaching itself holds universal resonance. And this podcast episode is my way of opening that support to a wider circle in right timing with full integrity. Because again, there is just so much unfolding in the world right now. And it just feels really important to be able to offer this class as a gift, a way to help you meet the current intensity without collapsing, bracing, or leaving yourself. And just to let you know, this session is part of our February 2026 six class. There's 6 classes in the series of Living the Light format in function. It's a series devoted to coherence, where movement doesn't disrupt your structure, where expression doesn't scatter your field, and where presence is no longer shaped by anticipation or performance. And even though there are 6 classes in the series, each class stands on its own and you can experience it as a single session. We also have been working with a 5-part practice sequence since last year. And with that, then each part can be its own meditation or combined into a mini retreat when done all together. So if you have time for 5 minutes, do 5 minutes of the meditation. If you have time for longer, do longer. And then also during the talk or even into the meditation, you might hear the word light format or format. And so the definition of format from Oversoul Stream of Sahariel, Soul Aligned Higher Self Aurelia, and the Harmonic Light Collective, the Oversoul Council of Harmonic Creatorship, and the full Collective Guidance Light team. This is what they have shared about it in terms of definition. Format is the harmonic architecture of soul coherence made visible, inhabitable, and energetically structural across dimensions. It is not a method. It is not a modality. It is the embodied expression of stabilized frequency field encoded with source aligned light intelligence. Light format is the structural tone of your soul's integrity, held across timelines, expressed through lived resonance. It's how light coheres into life without distortion. It's how light truth takes shape without translation. It's how you stop becoming and begin residing. And so sometimes I'll say format or light format, but just know that you don't necessarily need to say light with the format, because format, as the guides define it, is already light-based structure. But it can help at times to say light format because we are in a transitional understanding in terms of the humans. And so it supports the humans in recognizing that, format is not mechanical. It is energetic architecture made of light intelligence. And so as you move through listening to the talk and then going into the meditation, you may hear the word format. So just know that it's light format, essentially. So with that, then, my friends, I'm gonna connect the class to this. And with that, you'll hear me do an opening of the class and then we'll go into the meditation. And so what this class is about, this class is a lived experience of staying rooted inside light format while life moves through you. You don't need to, it's not about then regulating after output. You don't need to recover from being seen. You're not depleted because you don't exit yourself. You stay within yourself. So These integration classes are not about repair. They're about remaining coherent while engaged rather than recalibrating after engagement. So here, motion doesn't break containment, breath doesn't track safety, interaction doesn't demand adjustment, nervous system no longer monitors relational tone. You're not performing stability, you're held within it, and you're not exiting to express, and you're not bracing to be visible, and you're not and you're not reassembling after movement. So this is motion inside light format. This is expression without distortion. This is light and motion already safe. And so this class will support you in anchoring containment without contracting, presence without softening or shaping, integrating after visibility or output without collapse or energetic retrieval, regulating the nervous system inside motion instead of responding to imagined threat, breath from structural rhythm as an expression of light format, not modulation, staying relational without posturing, coherence without mimicry. So, this is then the remembrance that stability is not stillness, it's the resonance of your structure, the architecture that remains true no matter how you move. You're not safe because you prepare, you're safe because you are light formatted. You're not seen because you exit, you're seen because you remain. You're not coherent because you recalibrate, you're coherent because you never left. And you're not moving towards stabilization, you are moving from it, and the light format holds. So that's what the class is about. And now I'm going to give way to the class. So you'll be seeing that next or hearing that next. Much love, my friends. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Meditate with Me Thursday integration on February 12th, 2026. This class is Stability in Motion, Restoring Action to the Body. This class is an anchoring point in the series of Living the Light Format and Function series. It meets you at the precise threshold where stillness has been integrated, but movement still carries the question, will this destabilize me? So many of us have done the inner work of establishing structural coherence. We've trained ourselves to pause before acting, to check our tone before speaking, to modulate breath and posture before becoming visible. These practices were once vital. They were scaffolding that helped the nervous system in terms of connecting to safety. But for this class, we stand in a different moment because a lot of these survival aspects that were beneficial before are now coming into completion or may now be non-beneficial or keeping you stuck in certain ways or looping in non-beneficial patterns. So for this class, we stand in a different moment, not at the beginning of coherence, but inside it, not learning how to stabilize, but learning how to move from what is already stable. So this class is a turning point where action no longer feels like a test, where motion does not require modulation, where visibility does not trigger adaptation. It's here that we reclaim movement as a structural function, not a spiritual strategy. Your motion is not output. Your presence is not performance. Your visibility does not require preparation. You're already coherent, and the motion simply continues. So, in this session, we will release the breath based non beneficial readiness loops, and we will clear mimicry structures layered into posture and presence. We'll reset the body's relationship to movement, not as something to manage, but as something to inhabit. So this is where you return to motion is not departure, it's expression. You're not leaving yourself when you move, you're revealing what has already arrived. So this is the moment of recalibration. So this is not the moment of recalibration. It's the moment of residency in motion. So it's the moment of residency in motion. So welcome to the light format walking. Welcome to your structure moving. Welcome to coherence expressed without effort. And you are not adjusting. You're already aligned. You're no longer needing to pause to prove it. So with that, my friends, let us begin. So I invite you to find a comfortable position, either laying down or seated. I invite you to close your eyes, lower your gaze. Take 3 deep breaths, breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. So you're either lying down or sitting down in a way that allows the structure of your body to rest without collapse. Take a nice deep breath. And now bring your awareness to the space just above your heart. Not to change it, not to fix it, simply to remember you are already here. So bring your awareness to the space just above your heart, not to change it, not to fix it. Just to remember you're already here. And now breathe in softly through the nose. And on your exhale, allow the body to soften inward. This is not relaxation, this is recognition. So breathe in softly through the nose. And on the exhale, allow the body to soften inward. This is recognition. Your awareness is to the space just above your heart, remembering you're already here. So again, breathe in softly through the nose. And then on your exhale, allow the body to soften inward. This is not relaxation, this is recognition. You're not preparing, you're not arriving, you're registering what has always held you. So feel now the light format already stabilizing beneath you, like a crystalline grid that does not require grounding because it is ground. And breathe into that. You're not floating, you're not lifting, you're being held. So feel the light format already stabilizing beneath you, like a crystalline grid that does not require grounding because it is ground. And breathe into that. You're being held. So now from that held field, repeat silently or out loud if this resonates with you. I do not adjust to be coherent. I do not need to prepare to be safe. I do not need to shape to be seen. The light format already holds. Now take another breath in through the nose and then exhale through the mouth, slow and even. Let the exhale stretch longer than the inhale. You can do it again. Feel your field settle like a snow globe, not collapsing, just softening into still rhythm. So now allow the crystalline light format to come forward, not summoned, but revealed. Let yourself connect to your soul, your oversoul, your collective guidance light team. For your highest good. And then also the Arcturian frequency technicians are now sealing the architecture now, crystalline to crystalline, tone to tone, ensuring that nothing enters the space that is not resonant with your over soul aligned field. This is not a shield. This is not a filter. This is light format operating in full coherence. So allow the edges of your field then now to come into view. You may feel tingling at the skin, soft pulsing at the joints, or simply quieting in your head. This is confirmation that your light format has engaged. So then let yourself breathe again. And one more time. And as you do so now, anchor the following. If this resonates with you, repeat after me. I am not my motion. I am not my output. I am not the reflection I once performed to be received. I am coherence. I am held. I am light in motion, already safe. Okay, now let the breath settle, let the spine root. And gently begin to bring your awareness. We're going to move into the next phase, the first of the 5 crystalline practices. You're not entering from the outside, you're simply continuing from what is already whole. The light format is active, the field is stabilized. So, part 1 is the crystalline light format field entrainment, motion held within architecture. And so, with this, let yourself begin now sensing the subtle architecture of your field. Feel that subtle architecture of your field. You don't need to search for it. You don't need to create it. You simply are allowing your system to notice what is already present. Let the body settle into this noticing. Your oversoul, your soul, your collective guidance light team is here, as well as the Arcturian frequency technicians and the structural mechanics team. They're actually guiding this part. So let the body settle into this noticing. Feel the back of the heart, feel the base of the spine. Feel a quiet tone of stability moving through your field like a soft hum, not because you summoned it, but because it is already operational. Now breathe in softly through the nose and exhale through the mouth slower than the inhale. This breath is not cleansing, it's confirming. All right, as the breath settles, we begin even more so the practice of the crystalline light format sealing and also bringing in crystalline Reiki. If you want to receive Reiki, just say, yes, I'd like to receive Reiki for my highest good. Reiki always respects free will. So, with the crystalline light format sealing, you're not sealing to protect, you're not sealing to repair, you're sealing because the light format is whole. So, continuing allowing the Arcturian frequency technicians and now the structural mechanics team of the Oversoul Council to begin this next entrainment now. So you may feel this as a tightening of the edge of your skin, a soft radiant pressure in the joints, or a stilling in the mind. You may feel nothing, and that too is a sign of complete entrainment. No signal needs to be chased, the light format already arrives. Now repeat silently or out loud if this resonates with you. I'm not adjusting to be safe. I'm not softening to be received. I'm not posturing to be coherent. I'm already held. Let that light truth settle. You don't need to rehearse your presence. You don't need to hold a shape. You are coherence even as you move. Now bring to mind a recent experience of interaction where you spoke, shared, or moved visibly. So bring to mind a recent experience of interaction where you spoke, shared, or moved visibly. Now notice the moment just before the interaction began. So notice the moment just before the interaction began. Did you brace? Did you modulate your tone? Did you step forward with energy that wasn't yours? So just notice it. Notice the moment just before the interaction. Did you brace? Did you modulate your tone? Did you step forward with energy that wasn't yours? And it's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the business of business. And this is where we start to support ourselves in clearing things to allow ourselves to recalibrate. So notice the moment just before the interaction. And now breathe into that space. This is not judgment, it's awareness. Let the crystalline light format and move through you, around you, and move in that memory now, not to fix, but to let your system update it. So let the crystalline light format envelop that memory now, not to fix, but to let your system update it. So you notice the moment just before the interaction. You brought a recent experience of interaction where you spoke, shared, a mood visibly. You noticed the moment just before the interaction began. Did you brace? Did you modulate your tone? Did you step forward with energy that wasn't yours? Then breathe into that space. It's not judgment, it's awareness. And then let the crystalline light format envelop that memory now, not to fix, but to let your system update it. Movement is allowed. Action does not dissolve structure. So let the crystalline light format envelop that memory now so your system can update it. So now repeat silently or out loud if this resonates with you. I do not rupture to interact. I remain held, even in motion. I remain held, even in motion. Nothing leaves me when I move. I am light format. I am form. I am field. I am light in physical form. Take a nice deep breath now. And now let your awareness drift through the limbs. Feel the joints. Feel the bones. Feel the crystalline rhythm pulsing through the structure of the body. It's not calling for motion. It is motion already held. This is entrainment. This is light form sealing. This is light format sealing. This is the body learning that no output is needed to be whole. All right, the first practice is complete. The light format is sealed around your emotion. You're not beginning to move. You're noticing that you never left movement. You simply forgot it was safe. So now we're going to move to part 2, output integration as continuity. This is brought through by the Oversoul Council of Harmonic Creatorship and Spirit Doctor team. So begin by gently bringing awareness to the places in your body that has already moved today. The limbs that reached, the throat that spoke, the eyes that tracked, the back that held it all upright. You're not evaluating the motion, you're only registering that it happened. Let the system notice. I moved. I expressed. I was seen. I was heard. And now I return. But not to a former state. You're not returning to rest because you were emptied. You're returning to wholeness because movement is now complete. This practice is called integration of output and begins by correcting an old misperception. You're not drained because you moved. You felt depleted because movement once meant mimicry. So now take a nice deep breath. And the Spirit Doctor team now enters gently into the field with harmonic tools designed not to fix, but to retrieve. They're not pulling you back, they're closing the circuit. So breathe in now. And as you exhale, feel your presence return to you, not as a retreat, but as a completion. You're not calling yourself back from exile. You're letting the body register that nothing was ever lost. So breathe in and let the Spirit Doctor team for the highest good support you. Now visualize sense being knowingness of a soft golden light circling around the field. It's not tight, it's not enclosing, but completing. It traces the edges of your energy body, sealing the pathway through which motion moved. So, this is completion through coherence. What if this resonates with you? I'm not depleted by movement. I do not scatter when seen. I do not fragment through output. I remain intact. I remain intact. Now feel into your midline now, the spine, the central core of stillness, not to return to center, but to feel that you never left it, even when moving. And if emotion arises, if it's fatigue, regret, confusion, if that comes forward, know this: they're not truths about your action. They may be emotions being called to complete, process. They may be residues. They could be echoes of when you had to give too much just to exist. It might also be just that final relief that you feel that you can let these residues go and these completion of these emotions when you had to give too much to exist. So you can honor them by acknowledging them, let the emotions complete and process, let yourself shift and recalibrate, and then let the field recalibrate. And now let the field recalibrate. Allow the Oversoul Council to stabilize the harmonic rhythm of post-expression coherence. This is the restoration of continuity. You were never meant to collapse after output. You were never meant to reassemble after action. So allow the Oversoul Council to stabilize the harmonic rhythm of post-expression coherence. So now take another breath. Let the body release the need to track. Let the nervous system drop the question, did I give too much? There is no tally to be counted. There's no energy depth to repay. This is only light format, and light format is still holding. Oversoul encoding, light encoding being confirmed. You do not fragment to function. Output does not require reassembly. Expression completes and you remain. Okay, now we're going to move to part 3, nervous system resonance nervous system resonance within stabilized light format. This is brought through by the breath harmonics engineers and spirit doctor team. So let yourself become aware of the breath as it is, not to change, but to acknowledge that it's still moving. It never stopped. You didn't need to reinitiate the breath after action. The body already knew to continue. So let that light truth land gently. The breath kept going. The breath kept going. The breath kept going. So now bring your attention to the subtle pacing of your inhale and exhale, not to adjust, not to calm, but to witness the rhythm as it is, not as a tool, but as a tone. This breath is not a tool for fixing your state. It is not a signal of transition from effort to rest. It is not an instruction to reset. This breath is a proof of continuity. It confirms that you never left coherence. So bring your attention to the subtle pacing of your inhale and exhale, not to adjust, not to calm, but to witness the rhythm as it is, not as a tool, but as a tone. The breath is a proof of continuity. It confirms you never left coherence. Now softly allow the next inhale to rise, not deep, not forceful, just present. And as you exhale, do not lengthen it, do not smooth it, just follow its natural rhythm. its regulation through recognition. So softly allow the next inhale to rise, not deep, not forceful, just present. As you exhale, just let it flow in its natural rhythm. And the breath harmonics engineers are supporting you in tuning the field's breath lattice. They're allowing your system to entrain to the rhythm already woven into the crystalline light format. Now become aware of the subtle pattern you once linked with breath, the anticipatory inhale before speaking, the shallow breath before being seen, the held breath after you finished moving, waiting to know if it was safe. We're not waiting, we're, we're not breathing to bypass that. We're breathing to dissolve the connection between breath and non-beneficial alertness. So become aware of the subtle pattern you once held linked with breath, the anticipatory inhale before speaking, the shallow breath before being seen, the held breath after you finished moving, waiting to know if it was safe. Now, repeat after me if this resonates with you. My breath is not a safety scan. My breath is not a readiness cue. My breath is not a performance tether. It is structure. It is tone. It is rhythm. So again, when we're saying these things, it's the non-beneficial aspects of. So my breath is not a safety, non-beneficial scan. My breath is not a non-beneficial readiness cue. My breath is not a performance tether. It's a structure. It's a tone. It's rhythm. So breathe again. Let it be uneven if it needs to be. Let it flutter. Let it rest. Let it be real. There's no need for your breath to carry proof. It does not need to mean anything. You're not breathing to appear regulated, and you're not breathing to show you're okay. You're breathing because the light format breathes and you are within it. So let the nervous system register. Repeat after me if this resonates with you. I do not need to collapse to be still. I do not need to prepare to be coherent. I do not need to recover after movement. I was never in danger from being in motion. So now the oversoul light encoding confirms you're not in danger from movement. The nervous system can rest inside motion. Breath is not a bridge, it's the current of what already is. So take a deep breath on that. All right, we're going to move to part 4 now, which is the tri-wave breath of light format, motion without mimicry. This is brought through by the Arcturian frequency technicians. Your oversoul and soul are all part of this in the guide team, but more so this one in the way it's laid out. All right. So bring your attention now to the breath, not as a tool, not as a focus, but as rhythm already moving inside the light format. There's no strategy in this breath. There's no modulation needed. It does not perform. It does not sync to circumstance. So this is tri-wave light format breath. The original harmonic of motion, not driven by reaction, not altered by field pressure, not shaped by proximity or perception. So let the next inhale rise naturally, and then release the breath with no shaping, no lengthening, only rhythm. And now, again, let the inhale rise naturally, release the breath with no shaping, lengthening, only rhythm, and then pause. Allow the still point to emerge, that quiet moment between the exhale and the inhale, where nothing is missing and nothing is being drawn in. Do anything. There's just a moment between the inhale and you inhale, let it rise naturally, then release the breath, being only rhythm, and then allow that's the pause. You don't have to really pause because there's a still point that will emerge between the inhale and the exhale. It's the quiet moment between the exhale and the next inhale. where nothing is missing and nothing is being drawn in. And this is the tri-wave arc. Inhale, exhale, still point. Not a breath pattern, but a harmonic aspect. So continue to practice this. This is the tri-wave arc. Inhale, exhale, still point. It's a harmonic aspect. All right, now repeat silently or out loud if this resonates with you. So, my breath is not a strategy. My breath does not follow the room. My breath is not agreement. It's origin. It's light format. It's mine. And now let the Arcturian frequency technicians adjust the latest of your breath body connection. You may feel your face cool slightly. You may feel warmth in the back of your throat. You may feel nothing. And that's all okay. If you feel nothing and it's not numbness, but you feel nothing, then that could be the strongest sign that the mimicry has ended. There's a slight discernment to make between numbness and feeling nothing. So let the Arcturian frequency technicians adjust the latest of your breath body connection. And now your soul steps forward, not to activate, but to witness your architecture in motion. Your soul presence confirms you're not mirroring, you're not adjusting, you're not harmonizing to belong. You hold light format, and the feel may match or it may not, but your rhythm remains. So your soul steps forward to witness your architecture in motion. Now let the breath move again, not on cue, not with shape, just as it is. Feel it come, feel it go. Feel the still point arrive. This is the tri-wave format breath. Feel it come, feel it go, feel the still point arrive. You're not in rhythm with life. You are in rhythm as life. Now call forward a time when you subconsciously adjusted, when you mimicked toned, softened voice, matched pacing, held breath, or over smiled to align. Do not judge, do not analyze, just witness. So call forward a time when you subconsciously adjusted, when you may have mimicked tone, softened voice, matched pacing, held breath, or over smiled to align. Don't judge, don't analyze, just witness. And now feel your breath, not adjust. Let the memory dissolve, not because it is healed, but because you are no longer inside it. So let the memory dissolve, not because it's healed, but because you are no longer inside it. Now repeat silently if this resonates with you. I do not modulate to harmonize. I do not bend to match. My rhythm is not negotiation. I am tri-wave, light format emotion. I am breath that holds, even when seen. This is the ceiling of movement inside internal rhythm. This is the end of mimicry. This is resonance from within. And the oversoul light encoding confirmed is you do not modulate to harmonize. You hold light format and the field aligns or doesn't. Yet your coherence always remains. And now we're going to move to the next part, part 5. So moving to part 5 now. Soul listening in action, coherence and relationship. This is brought through by the Oversoul Council, Kaliathos Sahariel, and the Christ-Seated Earthquake Keepers. So let yourself now become aware of the moments when you've listened, not with your ears, but with your field. Moments where you leaned in just a bit, held your breath just a second longer, adjusted your tone, your posture, your rhythm, not to deceive, but to remain safe in connection. And this practice begins telling the truth. You learn to listen through tracking. You learn to hear by leaving yourself. So become aware of moments when you've listened, not with your ears, but with your field. Moments where you leaned in just a bit, held your breath just a second longer, adjusted your tone, posture, rhythm, not to deceive, but to remain safe in connection. And this practice begins telling the truth that you learn to listen through tracking. You learn to hear by leaving yourself, but now, or you restore listening to its rightful home inside the resonance of the self. So let the breath move gently. Your stop inward. Let the mind fall away from scanning. There is no one to impress here. There is nothing to perform. And now the Christ-seated earth grid keepers begin anchoring now the harmonic grid of stabilized relational tone. The grid is not between you and another, it is inside you. It is how you hold your own voice when someone else is speaking. It's how you remain in your breath while another field comes near you. Okay, now Kaliatha Sahariel moves into the inner ear structure, the eurythic sound field, not to block, but to reorient. You're not here to read anyone. You're not here to sense their approval. You're not here to track subtle changes in tone. You are here to listen to your own tone while interaction happens. Now breathe. Now let an image or memory rise of a conversation where you adjusted, where you narrowed your light to make someone else feel more comfortable, or you bent your rhythm to stay included. So let an image or memory rise of a conversation where you adjusted, where you narrowed your light to make someone else feel more comfortable, or you bent your rhythm to stay included. You don't need to fix that memory. You're not being asked to forgive or relive. You're simply being asked to hold your own frequency this time. So let an image or memory rise of a conversation where you adjusted. You don't need to fix the memory. You're not being asked to forgive or relive. You're simply being asked right now to hold your frequency this time. Let the breath continue. Hold your frequency this time. Let the breath continue. And now repeat silently if this resonates with you. I do not leave myself to connect. I do not listen by tracking. I do not dissolve to stay close. I remain while interacting. I hear myself even while I'm seen. Let this light truth begin to spread. Your tone is not shaped by proximity. Your self awareness is not dependent on how you are received. You're not listening for confirmation, you're listening from coherence. Now, the Oversoul Council supports to align the inner channel, that line of signal that moves from your oversoul through your higher self, soul, down into the core of your body, into the field of form. This is the original listening line. You may feel it now, a soft current at the base of the skull, a ringing in the ears, a deep silence in the chest. This is not the absence of noise, it's the presence of resonance. So there's no adjustment needed, no interpretation, no performance. Let the tone hold and let the Oversoul Council support in aligning the inner channel. The line of signal that moves from the Oversoul, from your Oversoul, through your higher self soul, down the core, down the central core of your body into the field of form. Let the tone hold. So now repeat if this resonates with you. I do not exit the light format to relate. I do not adjust my tone to be safe. I am still listening and I am still here. I do not exit the light format to relate. I do not adjust my tone to be safe. I am still listening and I'm still here. And now here's the oversoul light encoding confirmed. You stay with yourself while relating. You do not exit the light format to connect. You do not translate to be loved. You remain. And resonance responds or does not, but your coherence is intact. All right, take a nice deep breath now. We're going to start to come back. Take another deep breath. One more. Start to move the body. Start to bring awareness behind the eyes. And before we fully come back, we're just going to break the links. It's just good energy hygiene. So repeat after me if this resonates with you. I ask to break the links with this meditation. I ask to break the links with this Reiki session. Leaving only harmony and balance at either ends. I ask to clear any residual energies being held in my body as a result of these links. I ask that light fill the void cells, rejuvenates, refreshes, revitalizes for the highest good with ease and grace and gratitude. Take another deep breath. Give gratitude for yourself, for showing up, for your guides, for your soul, your oversoul, for all the guides that supported us for the highest good. Take another deep breath and bring awareness behind your eyes. Open your eyes and welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. So definitely be gentle with yourself, stay hydrated, and yes, this was a really powerful one. Somebody in the comments did say that it's been super helpful and powerful and gentle. Thank you. Yes, I agree. This was actually halfway through it, I had major just tingling in my crown chakra. And then I had a huge wave also just of emotion at some point, like just emotions completing. And then also just the compassion for the human of just the realization of how much we've just possibly weathered being in, non-beneficial survival or like tracking to because of these non-beneficial survival patterns and programs that we're in. And I felt a huge, and I even feel like a wave of emotion right now. And it's a combination of just completion and gratitude, just real deep gratitude to be complete with it, and such a relief too off like my shoulders. I just feel just really in gratitude. So check in to see how you are and how you feel. And I also feel like just I don't know, my heart chakra, my heart just feels in this beautiful. in the Inspiring You Patreon. I might actually put this one up on for public for the podcast. So if you're on the podcast, then how are you? I feel like this one is something there's so much going on in the world that this could really be supportive. So I feel called to who y'all. Oh, I have this wave of just emotion. I definitely just feel called to share it because maybe it can support more people. All right. So let me know how you are feeling and doing. And I also feel like a huge amount of like this real groundedness. Y'all, I'm crying. I have this huge expansion of groundedness, this amazing sense of relief. I mean, humaning, y'all. Humaning. Humaning. This beautiful experience that we're in that can be so complex at times. So, this one, definitely, if it feels called to you, bookmark it, come back to it. I just feel like this is like a really powerful. They're all powerful in different ways, but this one, there's a steadiness that to it. So come back to it when you need to. Up with the crystalline Reiki blessing, stability and motion, and this is brought through from the unified collective guidance light team with Oversoul Stream of Sahariel, Soul Aligned Higher Self Aurelia. The collective guidance light team infused the harmonic tone body no longer prepare for permission. Every rhythm in may the impulse to adjust dissolve. May the layers that pause for safety release their grip. Let coherence be your baseline, not because you stopped moving, but because you stopped. Not because you stopped moving, but because you moved from what never left. Let movement be resonance. Let action be ease. Let light format be what walks, speaks, and lives. You're not stabilizing as you go. You're softening to be seen. You're already stabilized. You're already seen. You're already safe. The field is holding. The tone is stable. The scaffolding is sealed. The movement is light format. You're home, even in motion. So with that, my friends, we are complete for now. We will be back here for the Meditate with Me on Tuesday. With that, my friends, much, much love. Thanks for joining me. Until soon. Stay